A man named Petey Shelburn walked into an antique shop covered in blood and holding the weapon used in a murder. But it wasn't a knife or a gun. It was merely a harmless-looking toy monkey. Petey claimed the monkey was a demon, and that every time its drumstick struck, someone would die. The shopkeeper didn't believe him and simply replied that children's toys couldn't be returned. As soon as those words left his mouth, the monkey's drumsticks fell. Petey stepped back instantly. He knew another death was coming. In the next second, a harpoon shot out and pierced the shopkeeper's stomach. It looked like a freak accident, but everything about it was disturbingly precise. Petey realized the monkey's curse had struck again. Knowing that returning it would solve nothing, he grabbed a flamethrower from the store and unleashed his fear and anger in flames. The monkey's face melted in the fire, becoming even more grotesque and twisted. But Petey didn't know that to the monkey, this wasn't destruction. It was rebirth through fire. After that day, Petey disappeared. His son Hal later inherited the cursed monkey. He had a twin brother named Bill. One afternoon, the brothers were sorting through their father's old belongings when they discovered a strange box. Inside was the same monkey their father had tried to destroy. Bill immediately grabbed it out of curiosity. Hal warned him not to touch it, but Bill always mocked Hal for being timid and overly cautious. So he ignored him. Bill wound the monkey's key, but at first it didn't respond. It only raised its drumsticks without striking them. Thinking it was broken, Bill tossed it at Hal in disgust, saying broken toys suited him better. Hal didn't fight back. Bill had bullied him all his life. His anger only appeared in dreams, where he imagined smashing Bill's head with a bowling ball. The next day, their babysitter Annie took them out for Japanese food. As Hal opened the car door, he noticed the monkey there. Though it was supposed to be at home, he assumed Bill had placed it in the car. They arrived at a hibachi restaurant, where the chef, trying to impress Annie, shaped fried rice into a heart. The cheerful gesture made Hal uneasy for reasons he couldn't explain. He didn't notice that the monkey had moved from the back seat to the front. Then, the drumstick that had stayed raised the previous night finally dropped. The chef's hand slipped and he accidentally slashed Annie's throat. That was the monkey's first kill since its rebirth. Annie's horrific death devastated Bill, who had always received her extra affection. Hal, however, stayed calm and began to think. Could this really be connected to the monkey? Bill hated the thing. He wouldn't have brought it along. Maybe it had moved on its own. Seeing how shaken her sons were, their mother, Lois, tried to comfort them, saying everyone dies eventually. That's just life. Still, Hal couldn't escape his timid nature. Bullies often targeted him, usually at Bill's urging. He couldn't understand why his brother singled him out, which only deepened his resentment. One day, after being attacked by kids and smeared with banana mush, Hal came home furious. When he opened his bedroom door, the monkey was sitting on his bed. He didn't stop to wonder how it got there. He only wanted revenge on Bill, so he made a wish to the monkey. If you could kill Annie, then help me kill Bill too. He twisted the key. The monkey raised its drumsticks and began its deadly rhythm. Only then did Hal feel regret. Bill was still his brother. Just as Bill walked into the house unharmed, their mother suddenly collapsed and died. Hal discovered that the monkey didn't kill with reason. It killed at random. The doctor said Lois had died from a rare boomerang aneurysm, something that happened to only 1 in 44 million people. Hal knew the truth. It was his fault. From that moment, he finally understood how terrifying the monkey really was. He had to destroy it, but when he struck it, blood poured from its arm. Hal didn't pause to think. He chopped it apart, tossed the pieces into a garbage truck, and moved in with Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip in Casco, Maine. He thought it was over. But soon the monkey appeared again at Aunt Ida's house. Out of options, Hal confided in Bill, the only person who might understand. But Bill didn't believe him and insisted on winding the toy just to see. The next day, Uncle Chip was trampled to death by horses. After that third death, Bill finally stopped arguing. If they couldn't destroy it, maybe they could trap it. They tied the monkey up, locked it in a box, and threw it into a dry well. It worked. For 25 years, nothing happened. Hal built a successful life and cut all ties with Bill. Then, disaster struck again. One night, Aunt Ida awoke to eerie drumming sounds. She grabbed a gun to investigate, but stepped on a broken stair and fell onto a box of fishing hooks. As she tried to recover, she smelled gas leaking near the stove. When she leaned closer to check, The stove exploded. Screaming, she ran for the door, stepped on a vase, and tripped headfirst into a metal road sign. Meanwhile, Hal, unaware of her death, was planning a road trip with his son, Petey. The night before, he dreamed he was lying on a cutting board as the monkey stood over him with an axe, just like the day he'd destroyed it years ago. He woke up startled, and his phone rang. It was an unknown number. Bill's voice was on the line. To avoid waking Petey, Hal stepped outside. Bill said Aunt Ida was dead and that he suspected the monkey was responsible. He asked Hal to come back and help investigate. Clearly, Bill was afraid to face it himself. But Hal wasn't the timid man he once was. He refused. Then, out of nowhere, the outdoor AC unit broke loose and fell right in front of him, sending electricity surging into the pool. A woman nearby dove in before Hal could stop her. Too late. That night, Hal couldn't calm down. Maybe the monkey really was back. So he drove to Aunt Ida's town. The realtor, Barbara, let him in and mentioned that strange deaths had been happening lately. Mitch McDonald decapitated by a lawnmower, Bert Ferguson scalded by steam, Nancy Rizzoli bitten by a cobra. The list kept growing. Hal instantly knew it was the monkey's work. He asked if Barbara had seen a toy monkey, but she hadn't. She offered to help him look. When she opened the storage room door, a shotgun tipped over and fired. Barbara was killed instantly. Another accident. Hal was splattered with blood but didn't panic this time. The police arrived quickly and asked him to stay for questioning. After they left, the landline rang. It was Bill again. Hal told him he hadn't found the monkey but sensed something was wrong. Why was Bill calling Aunt Ida's phone? He must have known Hal was there. But how? Unless he'd been watching him all along. When Hal asked where he was, Bill hung up. Checking the phone book, Hal saw an entry that chilled him. Mrs. Monkey. He dialed the number. Bill's voice answered on voicemail, saying he had already found the monkey and warning not to call again. That's when Hal realized Bill had orchestrated everything. The bizarre deaths were happening because Bill kept winding the monkey. Hal was about to confront him when someone knocked at the door. The man wasn't a cop, but Ricky, pretending to be one. He pulled a gun and forced Hal to lead him to Bill. From Ricky's words, Hal learned the awful truth. Bill had always blamed him for their mother's death. After they threw the monkey into the well years ago, Bill secretly climbed down to retrieve it, but found only the wind-up key. For 25 years, he had people searching for it. 2 weeks ago, Ricky found it at a flea market and sold it to Bill. After Bill got it back, he kept winding it, causing death after death. But Hal remained untouched. Bill thought it was because of the distance, so he lured Hal back, pretending it was about investigating the monkey. But Ricky eventually realized the toy was cursed. When Bill refused to hand it over, Ricky went to Hal, demanding he get it. Hal explained they hadn't spoken in years, but Ricky didn't care. He forced Hal's son, Petey, to sneak through Bill's doggy door and steal the monkey. Hal warned Petey repeatedly not to wind the key, and the boy promised. But once inside, Bill welcomed him warmly, pretending to be kind. When Petey relaxed, Bill said the monkey looked broken and asked him to turn the key. Bill believed whoever wound it doomed their own family. So if Petey did it, Hal would die. Not knowing the danger, Petey twisted the key several times. The drumsticks fell, and Ricky became the victim. His gun misfired, the bullet shattered a car window and struck a wasp nest. The swarm poured inside, crawling into Ricky's mouth and killing him horribly. Sensing something was wrong, Hal rushed into Bill's house, but it was too late. The monkey had gone wild. It flung Bill across the room, pounding its drums in a frenzy. With the final beat, a plane crashed outside. As it raised its sticks again, the ceiling collapsed and the bodies of the passengers fell through. The monkey had become pure death, no different from Bill, who had used it for murder. Hal grabbed Bill, shouting, "Why are you killing people?" Bill broke down, confessing everything. He had hated Hal for their mother's death, but she was Hal's mother too, and Hal never meant for it to happen. Hearing that, Bill finally forgave him. But just as peace returned, the monkey's sticks dropped one last time. A hidden trap Bill had rigged fired straight into his head. The weapon was a bowling ball, the same one Hal had once imagined using on his brother. Hal took the monkey and left. The town was in ruins, a nightmare of chaos and death. As he drove away, he saw an old man riding a white horse. From the sorrow in the man's eyes, Hal knew it was the Pale Rider. Please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.